Yay, everybody. It is an FTP Monday. Why? Because they got fucked again. I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin.
All right, it is Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. This is the post game show. I've got DC.
Hold on, my mic.
Oh, it's working. But this picture says it all.
We're used to that one by now. You gotta find another one.
Oh, that's okay. Our comment is from Brian Roy. He says, "Hello, fellas. What's the topic tonight? The topic is the Lions lose again."
Oh, right, I'm back.
Okay, good. That being said, my hot players, and anybody can disagree with me if they want. I have it as Jared Goff, Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift with his one touchdown catch. You got to count it. Khalif Raymond had a quietly good game with 3 catches for 36 yards. Hawkinson had 3 for 80. Amon-Ra had 7 for 69. He was a very hot target for Goff. My dad hops in, says, "Hey, guys."
Hey, Smokin' Dad.
Facebook user says, "What's up, guys?" Well,
What's going on?
we started out like gangbusters, scored 27 points in the first half, and then put up goose eggs for 2 quarters straight. Yet, the difference was 14 points by Miami in the third quarter, but we gave up no points in the fourth quarter because guess what? Miami didn't need to score anymore because we couldn't score. Vic Lester, absolutely. I can't believe they blew that game with the lead they had. Yeah, I know. It was mind-boggling. I'm looking at the stats right now.
Here's the real question here. Whose defense is worse, the Lions or the Dolphins right now?
Well, second half-wise, you'd have to say the Lions, but overall for the game, you'd have to say Miami. They only got 1 sack. They didn't force any turnovers. We forced a turnover. We got 2 sacks, but we only forced them to 1 punt.
Well, we got that. Punt and a field goal. That's a step up from a touchdown.
The first half of that game, it was like a fucking game of freaking NCAA going back and forth against somebody else.
They had 27 first downs. We had 22. They were 8 of 12 on third down efficiency. We were 4 of 9, which is better than what we've done the last 2 weeks, but it's still not enough.
I mean, 4 and 9 is pretty well NFL,
average.
Standard.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you hit over 70%, you're pretty much.
Ryan, right? I'm going to let you know something. The Lions were less penalized than Miami was.
Yeah, that officiating crew fucking sucked. They need to go back to Pee Wee League.
There was 14 penalties called total, 7 not accepted on Miami. There was six penalties called on Detroit and only 2 not accepted. So 8 penalties in total.
And they didn't even know what they were calling half the time. They just threw a flag and made some shit up. It's like, what the hell?
Right.
And even
Our defense is a sieve. Yep. And that being said, my cold players, the entire secondary, the D line, the O line did fantastic. They only gave up 1 sack. There was about 5 pressures, I think, by Miami. And kudos to Goff for throwing a ball that gets batted up in the air and catching it himself to get 5 yards. Ayo is trash 100%. Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, the only thing he did well was tackle. He was one of our leading tacklers with Will Harris. The fact I just said both those names as leading tacklers makes me want to throw up in my
what
mouth.
do you expect when everyone's catching it? Well, he's going to let them score in all those 20,000 catches they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a step up.
That being said, Aubrey Pleasant being fired, is it just a scapegoat or was there some merit to it? I'm going to say there's some merit to it for one reason only. Ayo has regressed. Will Harris doesn't look any better. Kirby Joseph has been able to cover at times, but he looks no different than he did at Illinois. So it's more of what he brought with him as a rookie than being taught anything, correct?
I was taught how to tackle a little bit instead of just being a ball hawk.
Well, he has been tackling, actually, but that's another story.
Yeah, but out of college, he
You
wasn't
can't really
over the middle. He was just known to freaking go get the damn ball.
Kirby Joseph had
Right.
5 tackles and 1 assisted.
Yeah, it's hard to complain about Kirby Joseph unless you expect him to come out as a rookie and be fucking Ed Reed. I mean,
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
for a rookie who has finally gotten the lineup regularly, no one should have a complaint about him. He hadn't fucked up.
He's
once.
only 2 points off of the 2 rookie safeties that were picked in the first round.
Yep. And they've both played more than him.
Yep.
Until now.
Why not throw a flag on that passing play? That makes me throw up in my mouth.
JB,
True.
when you get a free moment, check out Dane Belton.
Who?
Dane Belton, the rookie safety for the Giants. What his stat?
I know he's doing good, but I'm just going by off of what PFF said.
Oh, I know. I'm asking you to check for me because I can't check right now.
Oh, what's his name? Dane Belt.
Yeah. I saw a thing on Facebook before where it says out of like 150 snaps or something like that, he's been targeted 12 times, allowed like 5 catches.
That's not a great percentage.
How do you spell that last name?
Belton, Belton.
I'm looking at his PFF stuff right now.
Thank you. We'll fight over my pizza. Stay the hell away from me.
He is 14th in solo tackles. He has 14 solo tackles, which is 73rd out of all the safeties in the league. He has had 12 targets against him and 6 receptions allowed. His overall player grade is a 29.9. Kirby Joseph has a 71.3. And Vic Lester says Giants played like trash this week. I believe it is a scapegoat. I believe it is a scapegoat move to fire Pleasant. It is not a scapegoat. I don't think it is. Because the whole secondary's played like trash all year.
Yep.
Other than Jeff Okuda.
So you need the secondary for the defensive line to be good. When he has 3 seconds to throw a goddamn pass. I mean, I'm sorry. When he's getting rid of balls in
he
under
had 2.5
2 seconds
to throw it
without being hurried, then the defensive line, what the hell are they going to do? I mean, expecting them to be on a 7. They'd have a hard time if they were unblocked.
Right. I mean, Tua was getting rid of the ball in 2.5 to 2.7 seconds the whole game. So that is hard for a pass rush to be effective if they're getting rid of the ball that fast, which means the secondary has to do their job. They said right after the game the secondary did not follow their assignments.
Yep.
Who's responsible with assigning the assignments on secondary?
Defensive pass coordinator.
Who is?
The defensive backs coach, who is Aubrey Pleasant. Yeah, Campbell also brought up communication a couple times, and then in his presser, and then he was just like shrugged a question off and said, "Well, you see what happened." So that was a pretty
You're
good.
right, Daniel Williams. They were supposed to be physical at the line of scrimmage, and I did see them try to do it, but they weren't getting it done.
Yeah.
The reason I say that's a scapegoat move, because you know what? Aaron Glenn probably deserves to be fired too.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
But to save face with the fans, you fire somebody. And Dan Campbell doesn't want to fire Aaron Glenn.
Believe it or not, there has been more fans calling for Aubrey Pleasant's head since week 3 than there has been for Aaron Glenn's.
Well, here's the other thing. What's easier to replace in the middle of a season, a defensive coordinator or a defensive backs coach?
Exactly. I mean, a defensive back coach is way easier to do.
Yep, and also
we saw what happened
in coaching roles. So that being right now, he gave Aaron Glenn the noose to hang himself with.
Not only that, but let's look back to last year with offensive coordinator demoting Anthony Lynn and putting him in the booth. Yes, the team played better, but it was a wasted salary.
Oh yeah, I mean that's. I mean, shit. I really don't care about the Ford
contract guaranteed
money that they spend. But
that's not what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I'm not even talking about the Fords. I'm not bringing the Fords up.
Well, no,
so
the
don't.
Salary,
No,
I mean,
no.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how the
You're not getting what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
there's a coaching salary pool of money, and there's the player money. They're separate now. It's not like it used to be. So what I'm saying is, why waste getting rid of the coordinator mid-season? I mean, granted, he's probably gone at the end of the year anyways, and it won't be for a head coaching job.
Yep.
He should have took one last year.
Yep. When the wide receivers are wide open within 2 seconds, they suck at defense. Absolutely.
Yes,
they are not doing their assignments. That was the issue. If they're not doing the passing game assignments, then yes. And yes, we had and here we go. Did we even have a defense on the field? Yeah, we got 2 sacks, Rodrigo, and the other one was Juju Hughes. And the Juju Hughes one was actually a coverage sack because it took him forever to get past everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So they had one play where the coverage was good enough that a safety was able to get a sack because it wasn't because he rushed back there, because it wasn't a fast play.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rodrigo one was sweet.
Yep. Why they didn't go back to
and
that
Kirby Joseph
beyond me.
Was it Kirby that forced the fumble again?
Yep. 2 forced fumbles.
So that's 2 forced fumbles in back-to-back games.
Yep.
I mean, granted, the one was a fluke because that was Noel Brown being flipped up in the air by him, and he landed on his calf with the ball, but that's another story.
He still flipped his ass.
He did. He flipped his ass. That was one hell of a hit. It looked like Deshaun Elliott didn't miss a game.
Mm-hmm.
We need him back. That's the biggest thing I can see is that in the secondary, we need Deshaun Elliott back because he was putting fear in the hearts of everybody, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends.
Hey, Deshaun Elliott's always been a badass. If he had gone to another team but the Lions, I'd have been pissed.
So what's his status on injury reserve or whatever you want to call it?
Oh, I think I know who you were talking about. Dick Duran, who was retired. Right?
Wow.
Isn't he retired now?
Yep. He's long gone.
Yeah, he's been retired, I think, for 3 or 4 years now.
Oh,
if not longer.
More than that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow Steelers that much to know when a coach.
Which Dick Duran, he was also a defensive backs coach for the Lions at one point.
Yep.
Yeah, Dick Duran.
Wow. KB.
Yeah.
Not Lions related, but this one just caught my eye and kind of got me a little mind boggled here.
Okay.
Quarterback issues. The Colts have reached out to Andrew.
The Colts have reached out to
Andrew
They do
Luck.
that. They do that every year.
Yeah, they do, trying to get him to come back because technically they have 2 years left on his contract since he retired.
Yep, they're paying him.
Yep.
So probably just want him, if anything, to be a coach, mentor type, whatever. I mean, Edinger was pretty impressive in preseason, but that's preseason.
Oh, let's see. The referees never call obvious penalties on the other team when playing against the Detroit Lions. We get penalties just... You're not even paying attention, Brian. There was way less penalties called on Detroit. We played a way more disciplined game than what Miami played. Mm-hmm. It was the fact that our offense stalled while the defense was stalling at the same time. Oh, wow. They need luck after that crap yesterday.
About one thing, we don't get any luck.
No, nope. He's talking about the Colts need Andrew Luck after that game yesterday. Hey, despite the records, I'm going to say it right now. That's 3 teams that couldn't beat the Commanders now. The Bears, the Packers, and the Colts. We're better than all 3 of them.
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you one thing about the Redskins. They have a better fucking quarterback now than they did to start the year with. Heineke's a goddamn baller.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe they went out and got Wentz, and this bit him in the ass.
Oh, I knew it was going to bite him in the ass.
Yep.
I said, which Wentz are they getting? MVP style Wentz with Frank Reich back in the day under Doug Peterson, or are they getting PTSD Wentz that we've seen ever since he got hurt? If you watch his mechanics on his deep ball, that's the biggest thing. His deep ball, you see him come back. You're supposed to keep your shoulder square, not throw from your back foot. He's throwing off the back foot, and he's dipping his rear shoulder up, which you can't put your power behind the ball on the deep ball. Nope. Kind of like that one that Tua threw. He reached back with everything he had, arm, head. It looked like he put every ounce of energy into that throw that Tyreek Hill still had to turn around to catch.
Yeah, that's actually how you throw your arm out.
Yeah, against a better secondary, that if your quarterback throws that's a surefire pick.
Ryan Roy, yeah, but we weren't that penalized. We were more disciplined. So it's been showing that we're a more disciplined team that way. We're not getting all those ticky-tack penalties we used to. But the 3 holding penalties back to back to back, that's not good. You know, we were almost at the 40 on the opposite side and end up at the 42 on the opposite side of the 50 from our goal line. You can't win if you're doing that.
I mean, holding's also a random penalty nowadays, particularly with that damn crew. I mean, both sides were Miami was getting away with, they might as well have billy clubs out there. I mean, what they were doing was atrocious.
There was one on Hutch. He would have had one. No, there was one.
The one that
I'm trying to explain. Well,
I know.
I'm trying to explain it. Let me finish. Mm-hmm. He's running. He's past the tackle. He's almost got Tua, and the next thing you know, the guy hooks him under his arm, and he's going, "Hey!" looking right at the ref. And the ref's like,
"Yep,"
looking like that comedian that was making fun of people.
Oh shit!
And then they call 3 in a row against us. That's what you call a shitty official crew.
It is what it is. I mean, they were holds. I watched them. They were holds.
Yep. But calling 3 in a row after you don't call them all games, that's a shitty. That's just shitty.
Yeah. So it's like no matter if we undisciplined or disciplined, we still get gunned for by the referees.
Yep.
There's a lot more to it than that, and I'm not going to get into it now because the rumor mill has already been enough on that. But it is what it is. That being said, at least we saw an offense come out that had 90% of its playmakers on the field and actually score points. We missed DeAndre Swift being on the field, even though he didn't do much.
I can agree. Yep.
Dropping Pleasant was because he was the defensive passing game coordinator. So he's not only responsible for drawing up the secondaries part of the plays, he's also responsible for drawing up the gap assignments, the pressures. All of that stuff falls on the passing game coordinator. And if it's all failing, you're absolutely right. It's just my opinion, but a guy in the secondary shouldn't be the game's leading tackler. That tells me they're moving the ball. They were moving the ball. But most of those tackles by those secondary guys happened in the second half when the offense was stalling. Why? Because we went away from the run. Like I said, we had 72 yards in the first half and only got 10 more for the rest of the game. It was a Jim Caldwell offense.
Pink lady. I got my...
Say what you want. You know what it reminded me of?
What?
I don't know what the light at the end of the tunnel. I agree with the move because that was Aubrey Pleasant's job. He's the passing game defensive coordinator.
Tonight, but this is nice. Pink lady.
Like I said, the cold players for me was the entire secondary. Our linebackers were actually doing good at getting tackles. Rodrigo is the man as usual. Kirby Joseph, he forced a turnover that was recovered by Rodrigo again.
Yep.
If the ball is there, Rodrigo's there.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody disagree with those statements?
Not at all.
No.
That being said, we blew it again. No points for 2 quarters. That can't happen. That means it was a 1-score game.
Exactly. I don't know what goes on in Ben Johnson during halftime, but the second half offense needs to either get adjustments or anticipate what adjustments that the defense is making.
I mean,
it's too consistent to know there's something in there that's not working for the second half to drop off like that out of the blue.
No, you weren't the only one. Yep. Was I the only one who saw the hold by Miami? Their very first play that went for 10 yards, the Miami lineman had a hold of our player's wrist and pulled him back away from the runner. Yeah, I saw it. Then why not fire AG?
Right.
I don't know why they haven't fired AG. I don't. I've been calling for him more than Pleasant.
Yeah, me too.
That being said, maybe it's because Dan Campbell said he doesn't like firing his main guys in season. Who knows?
He don't, and they've been friends when they were at the Saints together for years.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing is that he doesn't want to have to fire his friend.
So
that defensive coordinator is harder to replace.
That too, but on top of that, his friend, and then
top of
that,
who on the team is qualified to be a defensive coordinator right now?
No one.
Nobody on the entire roster is qualified to be a defensive coordinator. Not even AG. What's the matter?
I
think the closest would be I forgot his name, the linebackers coach.
Calvin Shepard.
Yeah, Calvin Shepard. He may have a shot. But other than that, ain't nobody too qualified for that because
Todd Walsh, all he's ever been is a D-line coach, and our D-line isn't doing that great, so I can't say we got to move him up.
You can't say that. Yeah.
Our linebackers have been improving every game, but it's been very slow, so Calvin Shepard's showing growth. The only thing about Aubrey Pleasant that I thought showed any growth whatsoever was the blossoming of Okudah this year.
Yep.
Other than that, Everybody else seems to have regressed or gotten worse. The ones we even signed that came in. The only one that seems to be playing just like he used to is Deshaun Elliott and a rookie, Kirby Joseph.
Yeah. Kirby Joseph. Yeah.
Mhm.
The linebackers coach, is that Kelvin Shepard, the one that used to be a linebacker at LSU?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. Okay.
And
Is
Miami
this his
and
first
Buffalo
coaching
and-
stint?
Yeah, that's the other reason.
Yeah.
Dick LeBeau's been retired for years, almost a decade.
Wow.
Yep.
Side
Yeah,
note, isn't
Shepard's
Big
a
Fangio
newer
a free,
coach.
out on the market still too?
He is, and I wouldn't mind that because that was when the Monsters of the Midway was going on. He was there for years,
Yep.
Vic Fangio, with Brian Urlacher and all those guys, and that defense was nasty.
He sucked as a head coach, but he's a damn good defensive coordinator.
And he runs a 3-4.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Matter of fact,
Marinelli's
where
still
is that
available.
coach who was coaching for Cincinnati when they went undefeated and then he went to Notre Dame and did the same thing? I'm trying to remember his name.
Oh,
Not sure.
I don't remember. Oh, Brian Kelly.
Yeah, Brian Kelly. Yep.
LSU.
Yep.
Yeah, he's at LSU and he's not looking that good.
That's what happens when you go to the power conference right there.
Exactly. I don't even know why he went up that far. He should have just came to us. Why they didn't give him a ticket to get a paycheck?
Well, we
Because
had
that's
AG and we saw growth, and then we did a scheme change with 70% of the same roster that ran a 3-4.
Oh man, I already know the story. I'm just doing wishful thinking right now.
I mean, that scheme change, it still boggles my mind that you're going to make that your base when that's normally a dime package.
Yep.
Every team runs a 4-2-5. Yes, I do know that, but they run it as a dime package, not as a base defense.
Yeah, it's a passing defense, not a run defense, because you only have 6 guys up front. Hence the problem.
The 3-4 is a very run-stopping oriented defense, which the Lions were actually okay at it most of the time as long as people tackled last year.
True.
And our tackling has improved. We aren't missing tackles at the clip we were missing last year. So if our tackling's improved and the running game's getting better against us, doesn't that mean the scheme is busted?
Say the least.
Yep.
Teams know how to attack us.
And like I keep saying,
but that being
whatever they start, I'm about to say whatever they start in the beginning of the game, they should actually game plan for the end. Keep their foot on the gas, bring out all the firepower that they have. And that's what would win the game, no matter what their status is, because you've seen what they did in the first half.
We put up 27 and a half, and we had a 10-point lead?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's like that second half, he takes his foot off the gas, and I can't stand that.
Caldwell did the same thing. That's why we lost the Dallas game. Everybody can say it was the penalties, it was this, it was that. I said, no. We had Zach Zenner come in because Joik Bell got hurt. Reggie Bush was already out. Remember? Zach Zenner comes in. He rushed for 69 yards and 2 scores in that first half. And then to have him only get 8 yards in the second half of the game is abysmal.
True.
So it was the exact same thing again. 72 yards in the first half, 10 yards in the second half. There's something wrong with that picture. And 3 of those yards was Goff.
Yep.
Away from the run, that's what happens.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have Calvin Johnson out there, and we don't have Matt Stafford throwing to him. So therefore, you should stick with the run. Eat up the clock. You have a 10-point lead.
That's what I said.
Yep.
That second half, eat up the clock with runs.
I'm still working on that, Dad. I am still working on that one.
Hold on, I didn't see that. I didn't get a chance to read that. What did it say?
Too bad you couldn't have gotten Herman Moore to come on as a guest.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I went and met him last week.
yeah. I mean, I would love to meet him, but at the same time, I mean, watching some of his show, he still got locker room characteristics in him. So,
He's a team first guy, and he hates seeing a team play the way it's playing, and I can't blame him. Do you?
true. I mean, I can't blame him for that, but what I can is like
there's times when he's a bit too negative on certain things.
Bingo.
That's all I got to say.
Bingo. That's where I was going at, but I'm with you, JB.
He's starting his own network, so he needs to.
He has his own network. He has to do that.
Right.
He has to be who he is. It's him and Lovis Brown and Chrissy Zavacar that started the Lions Nation Unite. He's got Micro Mike as one of his main podcasters on his show. Mark Oram of Orum's Forum goes on there.
Yeah.
I mean, Lions Rumble, one of my big fans that watches us and
Lions
occasionally
Rumble,
comes on. Lorenzo Allen out of Las Vegas, he comes on there. I've seen them all. I've also seen Everything King go on there.
Yep.
That being said, people do things the way they do. I try to want to focus on the positives rather than the negatives, but it's hard because there's so much negative anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
The negative is piling up, and the amount of hopium. They're keeping him on a short play because they want to make sure he's fully healthy. They only let him play 20 snaps. And I get that. Because the guy I think his whole body's made of balsa versus Kerryon Johnson that just had knees made of balsa.
Yep.
No, he's more by me playing running back. He's made of glass. That's what we call the glass running back.
That's what I was saying. He's got speed. He can break some tackles, but once he gets hit hard.
Hey, wait. Okay, hey, JB. He's more like this. He got speed. He can get away. He can break a few tackles, but all you got to do is that, and he's injured.
Yep.
Yeah, you chip the corner, and he falls apart.
Yep.
That's just like a windshield. A windshield can be pegged by rocks all day long, but if one is sharp and pointy and hits that weak spot,
yep.
Blink.
Yep. So, like I actually presented my opinion on one of the shows. I forgot was even though that Reynolds is not like up there with him, but if they rotate him with Reynolds can do damage, not as much as DeAndre because the speed's not there. But he got more of an alligator skin on him. He's
got more, and he does a shake. He more shakes them off than he actually runs through them.
Exactly. Plus, he runs lower than DeAndre Swift. I noticed that DeAndre Swift runs.
Should we trade at the deadline? The trade we should have made, and I'm going to say it again. It was Cleveland Browns. We should have offered him Swift and a 7th to get Kareem Hunt because all they were asking is a 4th.
Yep.
You make Swift a secondary bet. You make him a secondary bet. Kareem Hunt's always been healthy. He doesn't miss time. And he's the same type of player. He has explosive speeds. He receives out of the backfield. Just saying. It would have been an even swap talent level wise.
I
think so.
I heard that.
I think Kareem Hunt's better, honestly.
Oh, I'm just saying he's better because he stays on the field.
Yep. That's number one thing.
Makes him better.
Availability.
Oh, and in the meantime, Jamal Williams is going to get 1,000 yards this season, more than likely.
Yeah, he is. I'm glad they actually made that trade in Green Bay to bring Jamal here.
They didn't trade him.
We
We signed him. We signed him as a free agent.
Wait. Okay, so that's something new. I thought we traded him. So
no, we signed him in the free agency last year.
So what did we
Yep.
sign into a 2?
Nobody. I don't think they were able to trade Hunt. Hunt is still on the Cleveland roster.
Yeah.
He's playing tonight.
Yep. Trade deadline is not till 4:00 tomorrow anyway.
I thought it was 4. It's 4:00 tomorrow. Should we trade at the deadline? That's the trade I would make. I would do Swift in a 7th because I think that's the equivalent of a 4th round pick to me for Hunt.
This is why I say there's no point to that trade, though. He's going to be a free agent after the season. The team's not in a position where they're one piece away that's going to at least get him to the playoffs right now.
But we can offer him more than what Cleveland would offer him with what we have available in cap space.
Right, that's what I was about to say. I mean, if it's gonna hurt the dead,
It wouldn't.
There's really nothing that we can do.
Right. Well, a 2nd round pick doesn't hurt your dead cap like a 1st round pick does, right?
True story.
Yep.
What is DeAndre Swift? A 2nd round pick.
I agree with trading him. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me to trade him for a player. For a pick, yes.
I don't think anybody's going to give up more than a snack-sized bag of popcorn.
Yep.
The Chiefs just gave us a 3rd and a 6th for Kadarius Toney. Come on, man.
That's the Chiefs.
You guys got
You guys waved your pendulum. You guys pulled a Holmes, waved a pendulum, says you want to give us 2 picks for a guy that does not play.
But no, you guys got the Vikings in your division. You guys can at least get a 4th out of them. Maybe even a 1st. Shit, it's the Vikings. No, the only piece on that team that really would be valuable to trade would be Hawkinson, but then you take that hit.
Yeah, you take a big hit because of picking up his 5th-year option.
And that's pointless at this point to do it, particularly when you have the potential to have a good offense.
And if you wait next year, and if you're floundering again, you make that trade at the deadline. Because then it doesn't hurt you as much because it has to be in season. Otherwise, it cripples you.
Yeah.
Oh, let me ask you. You said the other night that Brockers was on the block. What's the cap hit if he got traded?
It's not as much. It's some this year, but it's more about what it is next year. It's not as bad.
Right.
Because all they did was they moved his salary back 2 years. The dead cap goes less. It's still the same contract. The dead cap stays the same, but his salary's higher, and his salary's higher than his dead cap next season.
Gotcha.
So it's a wash next year. You know what I mean? You gain this, but you lose that.
Yeah.
I think they end up gaining $3 million in that trade. No, I don't doubt that Holmes is doing that, but he also said he prefers to build in the trade till the team or build through the draft until the team's built, and then he starts making the signings and the trades and stuff like that. That's why I doubt we make any moves. I mean, if we were going to make a move, if we were going to make a move, the move is exactly what the Ravens did. You trade a 2nd and a 5th, and you get Roquan Smith.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's not going to be the one calling either. Someone's going to need to call and offer up a offer that's too good to refuse for it. He's not going to be the one who calls and say, "Hey, give me this, give me this." If Cleveland called with that trade, he might do it, but I don't think he's going to call Cleveland to do it.
Right, that's the other thing.
Yeah. But yeah, trading right now is kind of pointless to us go out and search for trades.
I think Hunt would be an ideal guy to acquire. Plus, he'd be reunited with John Dorsey, the guy that drafted him and brought him to Cleveland. I know. All fair points. That being said, you want to add anything, DC?
Nope. We've pretty much hit all of our topics, I guess. Yeah, nothing I can think of immediately.
Chris?
I have nothing so far.
Dan, other than Dom's spirit animal, is Grimace the butt plug. What do you want to
That's where I
add?
was going with that, but I didn't want to put it out there. That
I'm going to put it out there for you.
what do I want to talk about? I still really hate Geno Smith even more now.
No, I bet you do. But I will admit he took the high road in the presser when they asked him if he felt like that was retribution towards the Giants. He actually thanked the old coach, Ben.
Yeah, Ben McAnuts and fucking Jerry. Fuck that. I hope they both go home and their wives are getting banged by their best friend.
Woo. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do my sponsors here. A1 Tire and Auto Repair, 3 locations to serve you. One on Old Coquitlam in Coquitlam, one on Broadway in Bay City, the other one on Genesee Street in Saginaw. Come on in and see us. We have great used tires at great prices and good prices on new tires too. And also, Mad Lab Custom Creations. They have all your needs for signed memorabilia. Get a hold of Dan through Facebook. They do breaks for mini helmets, occasionally jerseys. They're all sorts of good stuff. He also does custom paint jobs. So if you have somebody that has a special piece of memorabilia you want customized, he's the guy to get a hold of.
Yeah, and lots of hockey right now. For some reason, I just want to do hockey.
Is it
What, you do hockey
because?
helmet?
Is it because the Giants lost yesterday?
It has something to do with that.
Wait. Who did the Giants lose to yesterday?
Geno Smith and the Seahawks.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, I see why, yep, I see why he pissed now.
He wanted him to stay, and it cost him a parlay.
It cost me a parlay. Well, actually,
The wings are looking good.
You know what? If Geno Smith was not there for that one fucking day, I wouldn't hate him. Because I liked him coming out of college, out of West Virginia. But the fact that he started that one game and ruined Eli's freaking streak of consecutive starts because Jerry Reese and Ben McAdoo were a bunch of jackwagons, I will never forgive that man.
Yeah, you can't blame Geno Smith. Ben McAdoo and Jerry Reese did it.
He should have said, I stubbed my toe or hurt my vagina and sat down.
Hurt my vagina. Do you need a man pond? Are you in the need of a my doll? It sounds like you're PMSing.
Eli was a goddamn national treasure.
That being said, I'm going to end the
wings.
show the way I end every show. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B with my guest DC8091, Christopher Smith, and Dan Leonard. Thank you for watching and have a great evening, y'all.
And have a happy Halloween.